is Alondra Jimenez, and I'm here to persuade you all to tip your waiters and your waitresses at restaurants. Would you like to work for free? Probably not. Many servers work for free when serving guests who don't tip their servers after their services. Many people don't know that waiters and waitresses get paid less than half a minimum wage hourly, or maybe more depending on where they work. That's approximately $2.13 for some people. Servers depend on tips as their income, so if they don't get tipped, they're not really earning an income. According to the Department of Labor, a minimum amount of tips is required for servers. If you don't tip, you are not paying for the service that you are receiving. I understand that sometimes you may not like the service that you're getting, or you may not have enough to tip, but $1 or a couple cents is even better than nothing. According to Dave Ramsey's How to Tip in All Situations, you should tip at least 10%. Tipping is also proven to make you feel better after leaving it because you're really helping your server out. I am currently a waitress at a barbecue restaurant, and I can relate to those servers who don't get tipped very well. We rely on tips as our income so we can pay for our everyday needs. And it makes us sad and frustrated when people don't tip us because that means that we aren't making enough to sustain ourselves or our families. In order to get tipping to be mandatory, we need to make people more aware of it because there's some people that don't even know that tipping is a thing. We also need to make others aware that many servers go through economic struggles and even psychological struggles because it's really tough to be a server. Now let's talk about the problems with servers not being tipped. Not tipping can really hurt the server economically and psychologically. According to a 2014 joint report by Economic Policy Institute and the Center on Wage and Employment Dynamics at the University of California, Berkeley, 13% of tipped workers are in poverty, and this number has been rising ever since. Being a server is very hard when the guest you attend doesn't tip you. You could be doing a great job, but the guest just doesn't tip you because they may not know it or they just don't want to, and it makes you feel bad because maybe you think your work wasn't good enough. Not being tipped can be mentally hard for you because of this. Now let's take a look as to why and how we can get tipping to be mandatory. There are a lot of people who don't know that tipping is a thing. It's important that when you go out to restaurants, you tip and let others know of why you should tip and the importance of it. Like I have stated before, servers rely on their tips as their income, and if they don't get tipped, they really don't have an income. Many people don't know this. They think that tipping is just done as sort of a reward for the help that the servers gave the guests, but it's important people be made aware of those tips that they are giving are the salary of the server. I understand that many people don't like to tip because they've been told that you don't know where your money is going, or tipping makes the server feel like they have to try less because they know that no matter what kind of job that they're doing, they will get tipped, so they don't tip. There are some restaurants that tax servers, but most don't. Servers get to keep their tips, and receiving tips does not encourage bad behavior or less effort on the server's part. If anything, speaking from a server's point of view, it makes us feel better about our service and makes us continue to be doing our best. Now that we have taken a look at what we can do to raise awareness of tipping, let's take a look at what would happen if everyone tipped. What will happen when every person tips their server? You will feel good about tipping your server who gave you good service. You will be giving your server the income that they need for doing their job. The percentage of servers who are in poverty due to the lack of receiving tips and a good income will have more money to support themselves and their family. It's crucial that we take action and tip our servers as they deserve because they rely on tips as their income. Firstly, we must make others aware that tipping is a crucial and important thing for people to do and has no negative outcomes like some people like to say. those negative outcomes are bad behavior and less effort for their server. It is important that you put yourself in the shoes of a server, and think of how you would feel if you weren't being tipped. It is also important to let other people know about tipping and how it is for a person to tip, especially for their server. But you will feel good about serving after you tip because you're helping that person out. According to a 2014 joint report by the Economic Policy Institute and the Center on Wage and Employment Dynamics at the University of California, Berkeley, 13% of tipped workers are in poverty, and this number has been rising ever since. Remember to tip your server because servers rely on tips as their income. Also remember to help raise awareness on tipping and how it is a positive thing. Hopefully we can get every person to tip their servers.